today.
Yeah, that's right. We were chatting in IRC. He did say he had something planned, but it's kind of top secret for the moment. I mean, I don't even know what it is. In case anybody is wondering, Chompy is representing Reddit, and we've got Myke for D2JSP.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm Myke going with some normal timing, no cheese on this map. Of course, it's a 4-player map, and Chompy scouting up to the 12 o'clock position, going to take a more angular scouting path so that if he does see his opponent won't see him, and also setting out the early drone scout as well. So I think as soon as he realizes that his opponent is cross positions, he'll just go for the really, really early expansion, and there's not going to be all that much that Myke can do to stop it.
No, you're absolutely correct. Chompy's going to be able to see exactly where his opponent is in just a moment. Nothing else thrown down for him, so yeah, we'll see a drone sent down, and there we have it.
Yeah, Myke finally scouting, gonna see at around 13 that he's not the closest position, so that's a little bit of a sad face for the Terran player. But now Chompy, I don't know why he's putting his drone in the back, but should be throwing down an expansion at 300. There we go. So throwing down his expansion at about 15 before his pool, because he knows he's relatively safe in this kind of positions. And he should be absolutely fine against any aggression. Now, I know a lot of Terran players, they like to go for a quick drop on the ledge if they see that the opponent fast expanded, but I think a player like Chompy, especially after the GSL and seeing the moves that players like Cool can pull off, will definitely know how to respond, and he won't be frazzled at all by a really, really gimmicky move like that. So I expect Myke he's a pretty solid 1500 Terran player, so I don't think he's going to go for anything like that, maybe just a nice 2-base timing push.
Well, so far, he's only gotten one gas, and at fairly normal timing. Doesn't seem like he'll want to tech up too quickly. Yeah, for the moment, he'll try to get his gas back. So it might be an indication of him wanting to tech up, or just not wanting that free scout in his base. We do have a factory being put down, so no add-ons onto that barracks for the moment, but a factory presumably for Hellions.
Absolutely, and we have a spawning pool finally finishing now. So I know Chompy is the kind of player who will just take control of the map and have complete map awareness. So he'll drone until literally the last second and then just stomp you. Actually, yesterday against Beckwith, we actually saw him go for a double expand off of from one base to double expand on cross positions versus one of our great Protoss players, Beckwith. And he went for a Baneling, not even an all-in, but just to take out the expansion, and it worked absolutely beautifully. But it looks like Myke is pretty well prepared. He has a really nice wall going up here, with a little bit of a gap there, but I think he should be just fine. I don't think Chompy would throw away the match by doing something like that. And getting his Speedling at about Speedling research about a 25. So, yeah, from this point, I mean, we see the factory, so I think it would be reasonable to expect Hellions as he's making right now. I'm wondering if he plans to go for a drop or is going to try to run straight into the main, because it is a pretty narrow choke there.
All right, so we see the swap, so he's going to be able to pump out double Hellions. So it doesn't look like he'll be getting Thermal Pre-Igniter anytime soon. That wall is pretty susceptible to any kind of Baneling bust, but it doesn't look like Chompy's going to be going for that. He's setting himself up nicely with that Spine Crawler, so that's going to help prevent any kind of Hellion run by up the ramp into his main. And if he gets a Queen at the bottom position, he'll be able to hold his expansion pretty well in the early game.
Yeah, and I really like this move from Chompy, positioning his Overlord near the expansion and the choke so he can see as soon as the opponent starts to move out. And he's going to move out with 3 Hellions here, but Chompy has one Spine Crawler in a really nice position and one being able to cover both the mineral line and the back of the natural. So I think he'll be just fine with the static defenses, but we'll see what he has in store. He will have a Speedling research in time, and is actually getting the pneumatized Carapace for his Overlords at the moment. So I really like this move by Chompy, playing for the mid-game and beyond.
Yeah, this is interesting. A Ghost Academy just came down. Now this Queen and this Spine Crawler should be able to take care of these Hellions. They're going to be chopped off. Or cut off rather, or chomped by Chompy. And 2 ghosts being produced right now. I am very intrigued what he's going to do with these ghosts.
Yeah, I mean, you don't often see Ghost Hellion pushes in a TVZ, so I know Chompy's a really flexible, fluid player, but I'm wondering what he's going to do to respond to that. I mean, a lot of those, that Hellion aggression didn't really do all too much to Chompy, and now that he has speed overlords, he is going to be able to get a scout in that base really quickly, but this Marine Hellion push is definitely something to be feared right now as Chompy goes for the Baneling nest.
Yeah, and a nuke's coming on the way, so we're gonna see Myke going to try and nuke his opponent. That's pretty cool.
That's actually hilarious, because I know Chompy was saying in IRC, someone was kidding, and he said, yeah, there will be nukes, even though it's a Zerg player. I don't know how accurate he really knew he was, because with these ghosts coming with the nukes, I'm not really sure if Chompy really has a response right now. I mean, he's still droning kind of hard. If you look at the units counting station, he only has about 17 lings to deal with all of these Hellions and these Marines. So I'm wondering what he's going to do, because Ghosts, they do have a pretty powerful shot, especially with the snipe ability.
Yeah, he does have a layer up, so he'll be able to get an Overseer, and
here we go, the nuke!
And an Overseer in sight. But
so what is he going to do?
Be able to get there in time. They're going in for the kill right now.
Yeah, he's waiting a long time. He's target firing those ghosts though. Oh, and the nuke does go off. So a lot of drones get killed there. But was it actually worth it? We'll see. Yeah, it looks like it was. And Chompy in huge trouble right now.
Yeah, he's probably gonna have to just sack his expansion right now. He's pumping up mass Zerglings. That's really at this point all he can do. He's got a few Banelings on the way. Maybe they'll be able to help out. And right now, Myke's going in for the main.
Yeah, and I don't know, Chompy looks like in so much trouble. I mean, he's able to take out those few Hellions, but he just does not have enough to deal with his force before it inflicts significant damage, and losing expansion like that to a rushed nuke is just so unexpected. I don't think I've ever seen a TVZ strat like that, and I'm sorry to say it, but I think Myke, he set him back enough that even if this push fails, as it evidently does, he still probably has a game. Although he is still one-basing pretty hard, he's not built an expansion of his own.
Yeah, that's right. He has an expand, so economically, not that huge of a disadvantage. I imagine we'll see a counterattack right now, and Myke's wall is simply not very strong at all. You know, he's got 2 weak points, and both of those are those supply depots, so even a small amount of failings will be able to get through.
Yeah, and catching off those reinforcements, really nice play by Chompy. But if we look at the income, we see that he's in really dire straits. I mean, his Terran opponent has been getting a lot of SCVs, is preparing to expand right now, has twice the income, and with Mules about to kick in as well, yeah, it's just a bad situation for Chompy. I'm not sure what he can do. Trying to re-expand, but he's just so far behind.
Yeah, he is morphing in a few Banelings somewhere on the map, not totally sure where. Yeah, and his, it looks like Chompy's going to be going for a boom drop, and going to be dropping off some Banelings into the mineral line.
Yeah, so this is a particularly interesting move, because, I mean, if he does do significant damage and Myke is just not paying attention, with this aggression at the front, he might catch him completely off guard and do a ton of damage. So here we see an engagement at the front. Hellion's going to fight it off. Oh, boy, I don't know if he notices. Oh, and there he goes. Chompy drops all the Banelings into the mineral line. And, yeah, the income's going to update very shortly, but got a lot of SCVs. But I still don't know if he did the damage he really needed to do. Yeah, we see the update. It's 31-18 in favor of Myke still.
Yeah, so definitely in his favor economically. Chompy doing a very nice distraction by attacking at the front. Myke's now going to be able to expand. He's got a good force now, still using more ghosts. Let me check this academy. Another nuke's on the way, so it looks like he's going to want to stick with this.
Yeah, and for Chompy, I mean, just all these Hellions are just so difficult to deal with, because he's still playing with basically tier 1 tech, only Lings and Banelings, and he is going to kill a lot of those Hellions, but he, with that reactor, is going to be able to reinforce really quickly if he just wants to get more. And this is really tough situation for Chompy. I mean, he is, I think, droning a bit. Yeah, he is starting to close the gap, but being on essentially one base for that long, and with being down on the income, is just going to be terrible for him. And now that the second base is up for Terran, Chompy's going to need a miracle.
Yeah, that nuke is finished, and he's getting +1 melee attacks, a whole bunch more Banelings. Yeah, Ling Baneling against nuke. I imagine Myke's going to want to try to nuke the expansion again, but Chompy is probably wise to this. He's got an Overseer pretty close by, knows that there are more ghosts on the field in play, so he should probably be more prepared this time.
Yeah, and this push is going to, I think it's going to sort of decide the game. Chompy does have quite a few units. He already has 5 Baners and 25 Lings out. But with those Marauders, I mean, if he's not very, very careful and targets exactly the right units, it's sort of going to go all to waste. This is a really nice composition from Myke, I have to admit. And those Lings are going to get this around. The Banelings moving in. Oh, but they still did not manage to kill the key Ghost. The Ghost is going to get another nuke off. Oh, no. I feel so bad for Chompy right now, losing all of his units after expansion again, and I think at this point it has to be GG.
Yeah, Myke doing a very nice move. He positioned his Ghost at the exact center of all his units, and despite Chompy's best efforts, wasn't able to crack that and get to the center. Stim going down and running straight into the main right now.
Yeah, I'm pulling all of his drones off the line. This is irreparable damage that's been done, and GG from Chompy. So